Good morning. Hey, what's up, Foofy? Good to see you. It's been a minute, I think, since the MHA stream with the retrospective. Oh, man. How you doing, Foofy? Let me just make sure to share stuff before we get started here. My mic working? Okay, it is this time. Okay. Copy. Final JJ chapter. Hello, what's up, Dragon? Good morning or afternoon, wherever you guys are in the world. Might be, it's pushing towards afternoon. Let's just say good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. We're gonna give everybody just a few minutes to get in here before I start going, because originally I thought I only had the final 5 chapters of the series, but it would appear that I have a lot more to go. We might be here for Black Clover's End in a few months if we're unfortunate enough. Yeah, we will. I'll definitely be doing Black Clover's End for sure as well. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just getting the link out for everybody else because YouTube does not like to show when I am live, because that's how YouTube works these days. All right, and then for Jujutsu Kaisen. 1 second, almost there and done. Let me just double check now. All right, perfect. Okay. So, yeah, JJK's over. I've always been kind of like open. I've been pretty open about how I feel about JJK. Obviously not like the biggest fan of all time of this series. I very much enjoy the anime, I will say. I don't have a reason to lie about that. You know, how I feel about hey, what's up, Ryan? Good to see you. Good morning. How I feel about the anime has not much to do with how I feel about the manga per se. I very much enjoy what JJK staff does. And I tend to enjoy stuff a lot more in the moment when it's kind of on screen compared to JJK. Man, my eye is killing me. Good God. I need some eye drops, guys. It's bad. Evening Sensei. Hey, what's good? Hope I say this right. Is it Rinsuke? Good evening, my friend. But, you know, I'd be a major hypocrite if I were just completely shot on the series, knowing that literally a couple days ago I was like an emotional mess over MHA. So I'm gonna hear it out. I'm gonna play it out ear by ear, because the leaks have done monumental damage to this series' final chapter. That's for sure. I don't know if you guys saw, but when the leaks for this chapter, for the final chapter came out, they dropped the last panel of the final chapter, okay, the last spread. I'm pretty sure it's a spread, I think, and they didn't do any major context for the chapter at all the entire first evening. So everybody was just pissed off, dragging JJK, and everybody was also like missing major context. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's fully fair to judge it, of course, but you know, what can you do? Am I right? Leaks, guys. By the way, speaking of leaks, next Saturday, video about manga and anime leaks is coming, so that'll be fun, I'm sure. But I guess the first thing I want to ask before I start reading this chapter, because my timeline is just full of, you know, thank you Gege Akutami right now, is this a read-through or just post-read-through? This is a read-through. I haven't read any of these chapters since here. I have not read any chapters since here. The last thing I remember reading about JJK was technically Yuji opening his domain expansion. I have not read a single chapter after that. I've gotten bits and pieces of information from like Twitter and stuff like that, because, you know, the leaks on Twitter. But other than that, I have not read a single thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. We're going to just start here, and we're going to go all the way through to the end. Godly MHA content yesterday, am I right? Yes! MHA episode was great. Ninja... sorry. The manga music video person or creator, Ninja, he had dropped a incredible Deku I Am Here video as well. Then apparently some leaks about the movie have been making their way to the timeline, so be careful if you are going to see MHA movie 4 coming in the following weeks. But it was just a lot of good content for MHA. But I guess, yeah, like I was saying, what did everybody want from JJK's finale? Let's just start there. I want to hear what everybody else has to say, because I'm a little mixed on my thoughts about what I actually wanted. But for those who actually are invested in JJK to some degree, what did you all want from the chapter or from the finale? And while you guys type that, I'm going to start reading, because I don't want to stay too long today. Hopefully 2 hours at most, if anything. But, oh, this chapter is really good. Okay. Oh, what's up, Twice? Good afternoon, buddy. Yeah, I just want to know what everybody wanted from JJK first, because I truly don't even feel like I really know what the community of JJK even wanted themselves, outside of Gojo coming back, because that's apparently is the only thing everybody only cares about, is whether or not that blue-eyed demon is alive or dead. So, I know Yuji and Sukuna are having a somewhat of a talk no jutsu, but it's not really a talk no jutsu. I just want to see what he's going to say. So, this is Yuji. On rare occasions, dueling sorcerers bond with each other. I think it's a side effect of curse energy arising from human emotion. Oh, no, this is Sukuna, okay. But this is different. What's going on? Is this your domain? How should I know? I pulled it out in the middle of Mortal Kombat. I just wanted to talk, so hear me out. Oh, look. Oni Kenba. What the hell is that? Don't worry about it. Only the locals know. Okay. I was born in Sendai, but my gramps had to move for work. I lived here until I was 6 or 7 when I went back to Sendai. Not long ago, I came back for the first time in almost 10 years for the funeral of a friend of Gramps. I didn't expect to see it so run down. It wasn't completely abandoned, though. Well, not that I was surprised. To be honest, my goodness. To be honest, it's what I was expecting, so it didn't make me feel anything. Sukuna's like, alright, bruh. If Gramps had died first, would his friend have come to his funeral? I always played in this park. Most of the playgrounds. Why did I say chapter? Man, I'm still waking up. Most of the playground's equipment's gone. I've got my foot stuck in the swing once, and I thought I'd die. I washed off my toy slime here after I dropped it in the sand, and I cried because it went all down the drain. Okay, so we really are getting the Yuji life story. I don't know, Sensei. JJK is not my cup of tea. Even the anime doesn't attract my attention. I watched season 1 of JJK, but dropped it during half of season 1. But I want to hear your thoughts regarding the ending. Okay. More of a talk than Deku and Shigaraki had, by the way. Yeah, don't remind me twice, okay? I'm still healing from wounds, okay? These battle scars are still fresh for me. It's only been like a month, all right? Well, for me, the main thing I wanted was conclusive endings for character arcs of Yuji and Megumi along with the antagonist. Okay, honestly, Yuji achieving his goals was pretty much all I cared about. Yeah, I guess when you have like a story that's more personally focused on the characters and are more character driven, rather than like a giant major goal compared to like MHA, for example. You know what I mean? You kind of have to like. I don't want to say like you have to shorten your scope, because I feel like that kind of diminishes how vast a character arc can be, but you have to adjust your scope's like narrowness, you know what I mean? It can't be something gargantually substantial compared to like something more personal. It can feel more satisfying in that way. Morning glories, those are hydrangea, dumbass. I know, my bad. I only started noticing them after moving to Sendai, but they grow a lot around here. Who decides what gets planted in public spaces? You know the names of flowers, huh? Must be Megumi Fushiguro's memories. All right, then you should be familiar with the area from my memories. I don't access every single memory. Right, guess not. This park is far from my place, but there are crayfish. Here, try to catch one. Or can't the strongest sorcerer do this? Silence. Yours is dinky. Yours is an American crayfish. The Japanese kind is rarer. Huh? What? This is interesting. They built this department store when I was 5. It ran all the smaller stores out of business. It sucked, but there's a movie theater on the top floor, so I guess it was fine. I was fine with it. The town's pretty colorless, but there's a lot of greenery close by, so don't worry. What makes you think I care? Look, green as far as the eye can see. I used to fill my bug cage with grasshoppers from the rice fields, but you don't see many anymore. Many pesticides have improved. Hey, wait, there's another place I want to go. Wow, aren't those horses great? Their heads are always bigger than I remember. Gramps brought me to this farm sometimes. When I think about it now, he did a lot of stuff for me in place of my real parents. The soft serve ice cream here was awesome. I'd blow my whole allowance on it, eat it too much, and then puke. So you were always a dumbass, huh? Hey, let's do some archery. Okay, why would he do that? We saw how Fuga went, bro. We did not forget Shibuya. I love to see social reform in JJK, but the series never put in work for any of it to be feasible besides a couple of big changes. Yeah. Outside of what we knew what happened in Shibuya and the higher-ups, I think people had an idea for it with the United States thing, but then it kind of just fell back. Is it okay to put the pages without filter? Want to get copyrighted? It hasn't got copyrighted yet. That is a good point, though. I probably should make some adjustments. I've just been really lazy on it, truth be told, to make some form of adjustments, but I probably need to going into 2025. So I think going into, starting in 2025, we'll have filters for stuff like this with Black Clover, and if we ever go back to previous chapters and stuff like that. Since I'm like moving away from Weekly Shonen Jump anyway, I haven't really been worried about it too much. Though I guess, rather be safe than sorry, right? So I'll definitely, take that into consideration, especially with future manga. But again, JJK and Black Clover are like the last series I plan to stream. Well, maybe Yozakura as well. Once we get the Yozakura Families finale, we'll come back to that as well. But I'll be playing it safe. Biggest proof to this being the higher-ups never being actual characters. True, yeah. They're pretty much like those characters you see behind like a TV screen when they're like talking to you and giving you missions, but then they all got killed, so. Yuji be yapping this chapter. Yeah, bro's just going on like about the real life story. Also, I wanted a lot more emotional moments with the characters in the aftermath of the battle. It feels like the huge battle we had with Sukuna didn't change or greatly impact any of the characters. Yeah, we'll get to that because I don't know how this ends. But for the most part, yeah. Sukuna just killed Choso for Fire Arrow like 10 chapters ago. Literally, yeah. Yeah, like we did not forget. We literally didn't forget, bro. Like, Yuji, what are you doing? Love this chapter. Never knew I wanted a slice of life chapter with Sukuna and Yuji. Yeah, let me keep going. A little bit more. Let me try to get farther because I know there's like an important portion of this chapter. So Sukuna hits the bullseye. Well, you're no fun. Well, I have more experience at this. All right. Back in the day, he literally just killed Okay. In the winter, they would display snow sculptures for the snow festival. I wonder if they still do that. It doesn't snow much nowadays in Sendai either. Without snow, it never feels like winter. I love to shovel snow and then drink sweet milk tea while my hands are still numb from the cold. Gramps always looked disgusted. One night when it was almost Christmas, I thought I heard bells. Yeah? That made me think Santa really existed. Later, I realized it was snow chains that I heard. Hey, enough of this. Alright, that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you. Talking like this gives me the creeps. What are you trying to say? Until recently. Okay, hold on. Now we're getting somewhere. I thought life was about understanding your role and trying to fulfill it. If I had died doing that, then I could say I died a good death. But now I don't think that's right. Just walking your dog and raising a family are also decent roles. And even if all you do is eat and poop or lie sick in bed or don't connect with anyone and end up leaving everything behind, instead of memories giving form to your life, small fragments of memory are out there anyway, floating around and giving your life value. How someone dies doesn't matter, but I can't forgive someone who acts as if those lives are worthless. That's why I hate you, Sukuna. Human beings aren't tools. They don't come into being with a predetermined role. Good guys, bad guys, I don't know which is truly human. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong, but I just wanted you to know this stuff. I wanted to show you the livelihood of the people you see as having no value. Yeah, I don't feel anything. I understand the words you're saying, but they don't stir any emotion. Just like how you accepted this old dump of a town. I think, oh, so that's the case. But so what? Just as expected. Just as I expected. It's no use. I gotta say, I'm astounded at how spineless you are. Are you anger? Are your anger and hatred toward me really so pitiful? Boy, could it be that you pity me? Are you trying to be merciful? Oh, we got the Buddha, guys. We got JJ. We got the Buddha. That's right, Sukuna. I can kill you. Free Fushiguro. I'll spare you if you return to me. You're sorely mistaken. I'll tear you asunder, boy. And then before your severed head, I'll kill all those humans you prize so much. Okay. So I did see this panel, or this last little bit right here. I think this is cool, you know what I mean? Rather than just beat Sukuna down, he tried to go for one last major effort of being like, you know, this insignificance that you hold so dear to your ideals when it comes to human lives. It's not all that, you know what I mean? And Yuji tried to take him down to a very mortal level and tried to not reason with him, but offer him a different perspective. So, this is cool. I don't have a problem with this chapter, I guess, you know, it's fine. Sensei, let's read Kagurabachi next. I'm actually probably gonna stay anime only for Kagurabachi. After, I put it down after the auction arc, and I might just go anime only for Kagurabachi. At least for a while. I kind of miss being surprised on stuff, funny to say. This is making me wish we got more of Deku's childhood outside of being bullied, you know? Yeah, that is true. This with Tenko and Deku would have hit like crack. I don't know where to go after MHA. I watched Blue Lock anime and read first 4 volumes of the manga, but I got spoiled, and it's like Blue Lock is going to the JJK path. No deep character developments and moments. Rinsuke, I would say if you want something that feels like something that will really get you invested, read World Trigger by Daisuke Ashihara. You will thank me later. One of the best parts of the final chapter is Mahito still being a loser. You know, I did hear about Mahito being the final chapter, so I can't even be mad about that. Sore loser, though, is kind of funny. Yo, what's good, Ragnarok? Good afternoon, brother. Love you. Love how... Why did I say love you? God, I need to wake up, man. I was up late working on a video. I don't know how much sleep I'm running on right now, but it's not a lot. Love how Mahito's impact is still acknowledged. Overall, he was the Yuji foil. Even Sukuna and Kenjaku feel less evil. Yeah, that's true. Why did it stop me here, bro? I must have accidentally skimmed there. All right, so Yuji's having a talk with Megumi now. Okay, so I remember this. I wanted to create a world that wouldn't expose Sumiki to injustice and unhappiness. And if I couldn't do that, then at least I wanted to preserve our fragile lifestyle as much as I could while I was still alive. Oh, oopsie daisy. Went to the comments. I wanted to eat food that I'm used to making and gaze at the laundry hanging in the sun and see Sumiki off as she walked side by side with someone like you in the afternoon light. Then I think about how happy I was. You've done enough. Gramps' sickness started as lung cancer. He rejected treatment early on because the side effects were so harsh. I'm strong, so I didn't understand the idea of refusing treatment for that reason. Oh my god, how do I pronounce this, dude? I'm gonna mispronounce this. Is it euthanasia? Is it euthanasia? It's not nausea. It's got to be nausea. I'm going to say euthanasia. 2. That was a concept completely foreign to me. I might have been able to endure his treatment, but he must have been suffering. But after going through what we went through at Jujutsu High and thinking of the horrors as being never ending, I've come to understand how people like Gramps felt when confronting harsh reality. Okay. I guess I have no right to tell you that you have to live, Fushiguro. Okay. And Sukuna activates Hollow Whisker Basket. So I'm pretty sure this is like another type of simple domain, I'm pretty sure, to negate the sure hit effects of the domain. Okay. So Yuji's making his approach. Satoru Gojo developed his own method of rehabilitating his brain to reset a cursed technique burnt out biodomain. Okay. Doing that now, while the brain's still affected by a limited void, would be too risky. Okay. Hollow Whisker Basket and the simple domain have weaker outputs than domains that manifest mental images. Okay. I'm trying to keep up because this is when sometimes JJK can get a little like I have to really pay attention to make sure I understand bar for bar. Thank you, Sensei, on my note. Yeah, you will love it. World Trigger is my MHA before MHA, if that makes sense, and it is very good. But he's still a loser. Megumi Sweep, Campus Victim. Yo, can we talk about... Yo, twice. Let me come back to that, actually, a little bit. Towards the end, actually. Let me come back to that. Buying time until the domains can't miss attack hits would be possible, but at some point, getting overpowered is inevitable. Okay. However, Sukuna is able to offset weak output by continuing the palm signs after activating Hollow Whisker Basket, so he could keep fighting with the domain overpowering him. Right, because he's got multiple hands. Okay. So he's holding Hollow Whisker Basket with one set of hands, and he's fighting with the other. Okay. So they're duking it out. Yuji grabs. No, is that Yuji grabs? No, that's Sukuna grabs. Tosses Yuji over. Hits him again, sends Yuji flying. He's laughing. I'm surprised at how furious I get when someone looks down on me, like you with your pity. I can't wait to get payback on your beloved humans. Okay. What's with that look? It's lonely without you, Fushiguro. And then the shadow. Okay. Mahoraga got wasted and my 10 shadow techniques have stopped functioning. So this is Megumi Fushiguro's. Okay. This boy's dismantle has breathed life back into the soul immersed in the bath. Okay. So then Megumi catches him off guard. Yuji goes for the blow. They're duking it out. Yuji scuffs some dirt in his face. Sukuna plays to play it off. And then Sukuna grabs Yuji's head, hits it with the other hand. But then Yuji gets 3 hits in at the same time. Sukuna gets a couple of hits in at the same time. Okay. All right. Sukuna still takes the major blow. Still trying to maintain Hollow Whisker Basket. I knew it. Reverse curse technique can't keep up with the boy's punches. And Hollow Whisker Basket. Okay. So he's losing this battle of attrition. See, it's interesting because here's one complaint I do have about Culling games, and it's how this battle of attrition is structured, right? We know that Sukuna is perma-nerfed because his brain is hurt by Unlimited Void for the entire duration of this battle, and his curse technique is pretty much like the reverse curse technique and his curse technique being burnt out is pretty much like in like a weird spot. You know what I mean? However, the way Sukuna is able to like recover some of this sometimes with like Black Flash and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It made me feel like sometimes whether or not is Sukuna like really starting to slowly deteriorate his like performance. You know what I mean? Because every time I think like they're about to do a blow or something like that where it's gonna stick and then the torch just passed to the next sorcerer, it just feels like Sukuna gains like a second win, and it felt like that to me. Way too long to be a battle of attrition where you're in and outing characters back and forth. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. I do really like how Megumi has to choose to live, and Yuji respects that. That is true. I do like that, too. You know what I mean? I feel like dragging somebody after everything. Like, not everybody has that dog in them to push on. Like, some people submit. Yuji submitted during Shibuya at one point. It was Choso who motivated him to get back on it. Not Choso. Todo motivated him to get back on his feet. And then Choso was with him pretty much all throughout to make sure he stayed on his feet. Gege makes the simplest technique sound so complicated. The anime is going to go crazy with that fist exchange. Yeah, I'm about to say, I can't even imagine how they might do the rapid boom, boom, boom. But that's going to be cool in the anime, I'm sure. Let's see here. So, okay, slashes went off. And then that takes off Yuji's gauntlet. Did Sukuna's curse technique replenish that Gojo Sensei's burnt out curse technique reset? Okay, domain expansion. Okay, so he's about to cast Shrine. But then there's 2 of Yuji's fingers missing in this panel. And then we have Yuji's finger held up right here in this corridor, tied up. And that's the end of the chapter. All right, so all in all, this early stuff with Megumi was fine. The fight was, you know, I never have an issue with JJK's fights. I'm able to actually keep up with this one pretty well. And then this finger stuff, I'm sure was a good cliffhanger back when the chapter dropped. So, fine chapter. Oh, what a cute little color page. We got doges. Nice. You want Sukuna's last finger? Okay. Yes, Gojo Sensei, you're hiding it, right? Okay, so there's soul swapping here. I can have Rika eat to copy Sukuna's malevolent shrine, but even in your body, I can't read your memories. Nope. Can we discuss this seriously? I'm being serious. Yuta, that would satisfy the conditions for copy. After all, it's one of Sukuna's 20 fingers, but it isn't enough to get you an analytical breakdown of malevolent shrine. You're right. Even when it comes to cursed speech, there's a lot I don't understand without asking Unamaki. Okay. Then it's not a good idea to lose the connection to Sukuna at this point. It's a bet, or as Hakari would say, it's a fever. Okay. Besides, if you want to copy Malevolent Shrine, the conditions of my cursed technique require Rika to consume a part of the target's flesh. The amount and part consumed change depending on who you want to copy and the number of times you want to use it. Okay. In order to copy a particularly strong technique, it's necessary to consume a body part that's more vital to the sorcerer. So Rika would need to eat an entire hand. But if that's not possible, you can satisfy the conditions by placing a binding vow on the number of times. So if you can use reverse curse technique, for example, copying Gojo Sensei's limitless curse technique might require taking his arm, right? But then he can just regenerate it. So we should at least copy Gojo Sensei's and Hakari Senpai's curse technique. No, that won't work. When the consumed body part regenerates through reverse curse technique, the sorcery value hits 0, making it impossible to satisfy copy's conditions. Okay, so only one of that entity one of the material can exist. If you pretty much regenerate it, that's pretty much a cheat code, and that would resume the value down to 0. When made use of Inumaki and Kurusu's arm after determining that regeneration was impossible through modern medicine and reverse curse technique. Okay. Charles temporarily lost part of his ribs. Okay. Toto told you about resonance, right? Yeah, that's why we're putting this into motion right before fighting Sukuna. I'll give Itadori the minimum amount of data and tactical information needed. It makes sense to be careful, but even if we sense a big physical change, the resonance between Sukuna and Itadori shouldn't reveal what Itadori's thinking or the information he possesses. Okay, why do you say that? Because Itadori can't read Sukuna's thoughts. Okay. I doubt any secrets will get out in the confusion after the fight against Gojo Sensei, and I don't want to distract Itadori right before. Itadori, even if you can't use them right now, Sukuna's curse techniques are engraved in your flesh. Gojo Sensei confirmed it with 6 eyes. So, okay. Got you. Okay. I get it. That's a hell of an analysis. Yeah, the binding vows went way too far to the point where Sukuna just seemed to pull convenience out of his ass. I think binding vows are the stupidest thing Gege let fly in this final half. Binding vows are so dumb. One, we don't even know what majority of Sukuna had to give up for these vows to fly. And two, the abundance of them make things so freaking cheap, man. I hate binding vows. I hate being able to get out of really tight spots because you make invisible bluffs that we don't even know how far or what extent do the bluffs go. They're so dumb. Good God, did you read the last chapter of Yozakura? I have not read Yozakura's chapter today. I came straight here. I will definitely read it after this stream though. I wish we saw all the time skip stuff on real time, or at least most of it. Yeah, I talked to Asa about this too, twice. Not a fan of time skips. I hate when things are constantly shown in time skips and nothing can be done at the moment. But that's to me is also a flaw of just how fast JJK is. You know what I mean? One thing I can especially Gojo interacting with the cast. Yeah, absolutely. One thing I can acknowledge from JJK is the fight and choreography, but then again, I still enjoy Horikoshi's arts the most. Yo, Horikoshi is just like a different breed of artist. I don't think there's going to be anybody in the next 10 years that will catch up to Horikoshi. It'd be a miracle if so. I think that man is just an inhuman artist. If you guys saw the sketch he did today for MHA, boy. The boy's fingers, 2 are missing. That didn't happen just now. The one I used to transfer into Megumi Fushiguro was the boy's left pinky. Sukuna's fingers, you never recovered the last one. That was a bluff. What fulfilled the copy conditions for Malevolent Shrine wasn't my finger, but the boy's. Okay. Sukuna's fingers are special grade cursed objects capable of withstanding physical force and sorcery. Can a cursed technique penetrate it? With a binding vow, if you give up trying to destroy the object from your plans and instead focusing on penetrating the cursed technique itself, then it might work. Anyway, what concerns me more is it hasn't even been an hour since she woke up. Okay. Nobara's back. Oh my god. You better be happy, boy, since she uses her straw doll technique, resonance. This is the girls, damn it. My curse technique is I can't open my domain. This means that the boys can't miss attack. Ha, gotcha, you idiot. And then he hits a dismantle, followed by a knee kick, and then a punch. Sensukuna's flying, not so fast. He gets a counter punch to the gut. Did the boy think he could strip me away with a half-assed domain? He hasn't been able to heal his wounds because of reverse curse technique, so he's way past his limit too. And the massive cursed energy consumption due to the domain means you're the one who'll die. So now they're going blow for blow. Yuji gets hit. Sukuna gets hit. A double blow with temporal distance. Oh, wait, is this like his secondary effect where he could control his vanishing fist? Is that what it was? Is that the double blow? Because it doesn't seem like, or is it one of those things where it's like you get close and then like the effect is so powerful like it still hits him? I don't know. Sukuna, let's finish this. Your curse must end. Black Flash. All right. So that's the final major blow, I'm pretty sure. So here's the thing, right? I don't really care for Nobara coming back. I really don't. The JJK's copium with this woman's existence is by far the most interesting social experiment I've ever watched and seen in my entire life with a series. I don't know why people felt like she needed to come back, but I guess because the fact that the injury that she received wasn't nearly as lethal compared to the others, she had the best case. I don't really care. I really don't feel anything about Nobara coming back. She felt like a nothing character beforehand, in my opinion. She had some cool lines. She had some cool moments. The most valuable moment to me from Nobara was the fact that she talked to Yuji about how it feels to technically kill somebody. That to me was the most like interesting thing about Nobara. I don't care about the girl's backstory. It's like, okay, you know, cool, I guess. I think it's cool that like she's happy with herself as a person and not really worrying about gender norms, stuff like that. That's cool. But other than that, like the bar for what people get invested in with these characters is so damn low. Like I'm genuinely surprised that so many people repped this girl. And like it's not her fault. It's more so Gege's fault. But just like, you know, like that. Listen, I'll say it again, okay? But again, the bar for like how women are written for mainly like leads. I'm not gonna say antagonists. You know what I mean? Because even for antagonists, truth be told, low key, it's just so freaking low, man. Like what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, but again, I don't really have anything against Nobara. It's more so Gege's fault, but I don't really care that she came back like that. It's not my cup of tea. I know everybody was freaking out, having validation about she came back. Oh, whoopsie, whoopee. Like, okay, bro. You know, like, okay. All right. You know, if you're happy she came back, hey, no beef. If Nobara woke up a day earlier, she could have done a massive key play at any point in the fight. Like, she could have helped Higuruma one-shot Sukuna or Gojo, landing another purple domain. Yeah, but you know twice how it goes. Authors don't do the logical thing. You know, it's funny you say that twice because it reminds me of, like, that statement that, homie from JoJo's, the author of JoJo's, when he was basically saying how, like, if I kept going, like, point A to point B, that technically makes sense, it'd be boring. So, you know how it goes. You know what I mean? You know how it goes. Technically, though, that would have been interesting. Super lucky that Nobara just woke up, like, literally 30 minutes ago. What was Gege thinking? Yeah, I don't, you know. The Nobara line was supposed to be a callback to Gojo Yuji gag of showing Yuji was still alive. Yeah, I did see the translation talks about that twice. I did see about that, which would have been a cool callback, but, you know, if there's one thing the JJK fans or the JJK community doesn't like, it is Mr. John Weary. Or Weary. Nobara lived and Toga didn't. Oh, Choco episode next weekend, guys. Let's go. Yeah, her comeback is so out of nowhere. Gege was too little vague about this. Too little, too late. Yeah, I don't have any strong feelings about it. But I'm not gonna shit on it any further than that. I just whatever, dude. You know. Here we go. All right, so now this is where I'm at from real. I have not read anything for 100% for sure now. How will you ever be able to face the world again? You had your body stolen by me, and your sister was killed, and you refused help. And, alright, the boy you saved slaughtered lots of people. Just give up. You'll never be able to live a normal life, so stay quiet and let me handle things. Why are you so desperate? One of Sukuna's fingers is still out there. If the way to become a cursed object is set and Itadori pulls me out, you die. Plus, resonance isn't always good for you. If 19 fingers disappear, the last one probably can't carry on your soul. But I'm relieved that even you fear death. I never intended to live a normal life. The world is full of people besides myself. Once more, I think I'll live for others. Huh. Thank you, Megumi. Thank you for the help. It only took you about 40 chapters. Alright, so Shatter Domain Expansion is gone. Yuji Blow. Is that Megumi here? Okay, so Megumi. So Sukuna spits out Megumi. And this is Sukuna as a curse. Okay, so what's it gonna be, Sukuna? Free Ishiguro, and I'll spare you if you return me. Sukuna, you are me. Oh, brother. We were born with the burden of a curse, and the monster you became was up to luck. But I had my grandfather. Sukuna, let's do it again. Not to curse someone, but to live with someone. Even if no one accepts it, I'm willing to go on living with you. I gotta compliment how complete you are in acting the fool, Yuji Itadori. But do not dare insult me, for I am a curse. So he'd rather die than to accept anything from Yuji. But he did respect him in the end. The you are me line, I don't know. Mahito's hit harder, but I mean, the logic here does make sense. So, okay. It's all over. Yep, looks that way. So what's now? Nothing. It's the end. If Sukuna lost, it's because he was a fully fleshed curse. It's not because you guys were strong. What does this mean? What does this mean? If Sukuna lost, it's because he was a fully fleshed curse. Does this mean that if you are a curse, in like is she comparing, or are they comparing Sukuna to like what would be the special grade cursed people like Mahito and stuff like that? Like is that like, what does this mean? Somebody explain it to me, please. I actually don't get what she means by this. Is she? Do we know it remains a she or not? I want to just say she just to be on the safe side for right now. Or I'm going to say they. Are they comparing Sukuna to people like Jogo and Mahito who were like curses who wanted to become human? And he was something that was comparable to on their level rather than something that was more in the end? Like, what does this mean? This was a mistranslation? Oh. What was the actual twice? Can you help me out? I don't know what this means. You merely got lucky. Being born 1,000 years later saved your lives. I merely got lucky. That's the ultimate praise for a guy like me. I guess you're right. And Urame just dies because I called it. I literally called it. The fact that Yuji had a better final convo. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, let me go in order. If Sukuna didn't possess Megumi, the soul attacks wouldn't work on him. Okay. Sukuna is an incarnated sorcerer now, but he wasn't like this before. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. The fact that Yuji had a better final convo with Sukuna than Deku, making it his goal to understand the circumstances of villains with Shigaraki is the funniest thing. I blame all for one. I will no longer take any more comments at this time. And then Megumi wakes up. What are you two doing? Oh, they're trying to recreate the gag. Oh, I see what you mean now twice. Bro, why is there always a giant box just laying around? Planning a Kugisaki. Kugisaki's a live present. Oh, sorry. Hey, the hottest girl in class you thought was dead is alive. So you should piss yourself in surprise or weep in joy. I did cry a bit when you did Resonance. I found out while I was in Sukuna. Yeah, I guess I needed to be there. Well, shall we get to it? Ieri received these letters from Gojo. Now that we're all here, we can open them. Letters? Yeah, it's not like him. Imagine him writing them. Creeps me out. Ouch, that's me. There are only 2. I don't have one. That's because I talked to him directly. Oh, you did? You did? Well, let's do this. Gah. What did he write? It's just info on where my mom is and what she's doing. Did you want to know that? Nope. Okay. I'm surprised he was able to find her. I guess I should have expected it. Did he make you special grade? Fushigiro's actually laughing. I gotta know. Show me. Can I see it? Actually, it's a lot like Kukisaki's. It's kind of harsh, so why are you laughing? It's okay. Well, if you say so. Sorry, Megumi, but your dad's a goner. I wasted his ass. My bad. Okay, dude. Okay. Well, at least he knows, guys. At least he knows. The OG Sukuna wouldn't have had to protect his soul to keep Megumi in check. I see. Okay. That makes sense. Ooh, I feel lightheaded as hell. I need to eat. Megumi really doesn't give a shit about anything that happened to him. Gojo, LMAO. Yeah, that bro is just going on with the vibes. I gotta see Maki and the others. Come with us, Fushiguro. Everyone's gonna get together. I guess I should apologize and say thanks. No, this isn't about that. It's about Okotsu-senpai. We have to save him. Yuta, you jerk. Oh, save him from them? This dude, bro. Oh, I get it. Okay. Save him from Maki. Okay. How much? Alright, so we're going into Mei considerations. Okay. Yuta, you jerk. It's not okay just because you're back in your original body. So Yuta lives for free? Wait, how? I thought he was dead. Maki? Oh, Megumi, you are awake. My head is kind of spacey. Is that because of Unlimited Void? I want to apologize to everyone. Do it later anyway. You have nothing to apologize for. Okay, wait. But actually, I do. It's Gojo's fault for not killing Itadori way back when. And Itadori is a victim of Kenjaku's Jujutsu terrorism. I was in favor of your execution, Itadori. I'm only here because of Yaga. And I won't say that I was wrong or I told you so either. Each person's truth brought us to this outcome. So you guys don't need to feel guilty. Just be kids and let the older guys hang their heads. Okay, hold on. Okotsu-senpai, how did you return to your body? I owe it to Rika. When she didn't follow me into Gojo-sensei's body, I thought I had lost my connection to her. But Rika was using reverse curse technique to repair and sustain my body, which Ieri had worked on. When Kenjaku's curse technique burnt out due to the domain, I thought I was dead. There was a minor miscalculation. Kenjaku was still active after opening the domain. I suppose it was possible to somehow divide multiple curse techniques to continue functioning, probably through the barrier techniques. A millenarian and a fresh copy won't be equally precise. After recovery of the curse technique, I was near death, and Rika was an external curse technique. We reconnected, and I survived. Sorry for making everyone worry. Oh my god. Okay. So basically, Rika kept him alive enough to where the curse technique burnt out, and they were able to basically yoink him back in. That's basically the TLDR. Oh, that's so... Okay, that's convenient, I guess. Oh, this cliffhanger is so funny. We healing this motherfucker. Yeah, bro. Like, okay. Whoever made that meme about, like, take your ass to, like, MHA, we heal. Like, no, go back to JJK, bro. The Gojo body jack was the most pointless shit ever. This Rika had never healed someone else before, by the way. Yeah, I don't think... Even in Volume 0, it's not like she healed anybody. So I wouldn't expect this one to heal anybody, but... Yuta, you used to be special. What happened to the game I love? The issue is that if you had acted properly, we could have won more easily. First, consider the surprise attack on Kenjaku. I should have done that. Then there's the plan involving Higuruma's sword. Combined with Toge's remote curse speech, we would have won easily. We should have had Higuruma carry a recording. It isn't possible to activate multiple instances of cursed speech simultaneously. Playing cursed speech from recording counts as one instance, so only one voice recording is possible. But my boogie woogie can't target you, Maki. Even Okotsu pulling off the surprise attack without my assistance was risky. Besides, Rika's strength was necessary for stopping cursed spirit manipulation from raging out of control. Okay. Oh, right, because she had to stop all the stuff coming out. Okay. And Toge's cursed speech had reduced the recoil because of the timing. If we used it when Sukuna was in better condition, the kickback would have been fatal. Salmon Row. Sukuna was playing around. He could have killed me anytime. If Okotsu had been around, he would have killed me. If Okotsu had been around, he would have killed me instantly. Besides, cursed speech is... Higuruma lived? Besides, cursed speech is easy to counter, right? I'm the one who decided we should use it inside of Okotsu's domain barrier without any external opponents. After all, harmful acts are impossible inside my domain, okay? Nonetheless, it's amazing that someone who became a sorcerer 2 months ago survived, but you might say that's unfortunate. Still, those foreign helpers, if they'd been there at the start, things would have been different. Yeah, that's right, but they said they wouldn't come. And I said they might, but they came. Okay, bro. Gege covering plot holes with duct tape, and Higuruma lived too. Why did Higuruma live? I thought Higuruma was dead. Okay, you know what? This is stressing me out. Not stressing me out. This is just like... This is the definition of, like, nothing ever happens. Thanks to Okotsu Senpai's curse technique, I was able to hide my fingers. Wouldn't gloves have worked? Go to a hardware store. Thanks to Okotsu Senpai, we prevented Sukuna's second domain. I'm saying it could have worked out before that. So this entire chapter is just basically them going back to criticize how flawed the plan was in motion. Good thing waiting inside Rika was impossible. We were able to follow up with an attack immediately after Gojo, and that immediately drew Urame away from Sukuna early. And that's thanks to Okotsu Senpai. So they were inside Rika watching this. That's interesting, wow. I'm responsible too. I prepared with Miss May for Tsukuna's domain, but I couldn't get a hold of Choso and Itadori. A problem with cursed technique area? No, the problem was less distance than Sukuna's cursed energy. In the center of the domain, Sukuna's cursed energy was too strong. Okay, so he's basically like imagine if like a bunch of pings were on your radar. You can't pinpoint the accurate pings you need. I was there, but Ui got me out so fast, so I'm to blame. We should have been able to save Choso, but then I would have died. It's no one's fault. I'm not trying to blame Yuta either. After all, Black Flash hit me twice, but this guy... never mind. I was scared stiff. I was on standby as Maki's marker and for domain countering. What if Todo Senpai's technique had only saved me? You're the one who said you wouldn't join combat, and I didn't. Anyway, you'd have objected. Sorry, I didn't do much. Well, your broom was a comfy ride. That's crazy disrespect. That's actually crazy disrespect. I wanted Higuruma to live, but the fake out was so unnecessary. Your reaction to Higuruma? Dude, like, why is he here, bro? What is he gonna do now? Sensei, give me your top 5 Hikari moments on this fight. His only moment I would give him is in Cully Games when he dropped the feeling the fever line. That's it. That shit was hard in the moment. Otherwise, who needs that guy? Gege made Maki the mouthpiece of every single Twitter criticism I saw of the plan. I hate that style of writing. It is very interesting to see we get an entire chapter of post-battle criticism. Bro also found a way to make the only woman on the battlefield sound like a dumbass. I wanted... Oh my god, Luke. I wanted to take on Sukuna after finishing off Urume. Urume was tough. I was asleep for a long time, so I can't say much. We each have our own regrets, but surely everyone agrees that I was the MVP. You panicked and left me. You're heavy, Kirara. That made things easier for your sister. My sister did hard work regarding new shadow style. Yet again, stealing the good part. Guilty as charged. Oh, Gege giving out... Okay. Gege giving out free credit for Mei. After all, I can't exchange my life for money, and you can't bet with what you can't exchange for money. New shadow style. Can't only certain people use that? Yeah, that's right. A binding vow restricts it to one family. The inventor Sadatsuna Ashiya made it that way to prevent it from leaking to cursed users. That's smart, actually. But generations have changed, and new shadow style lost its public benefit. And simple domain became a trade secret. In other words, the clan keeps a monopoly on it, invites disciples, and unreasonably enforces the binding vow. New shadow style is of great worth, so to sorcerers who have no curse techniques. Toto learned it from Sumiko, who acquired it Mekamaru style. I see. What's unreasonable about a There's just so much dialogue, bro. Golly. What's unreasonable about a binding vow forbidding the teaching of a new shadow style to anyone? It's a question. What's unreasonable about a binding vow forbidding the teaching of a new shadow style to anyone but disciples? That's only part of it. You can't refuse summons to action from the head, among other complications. What's particularly tricky is lifespan, because this is closer to a spell without limit than a binding vow or curse technique. New shadow style's head absorbs the lifespans of the disciples, supposedly. Wow. Lifespan. No one knows who New Shadow Style's head is, so while the contract concerning lifespan is a fact, no one knows how it's fulfilled. Some disciples are old men and women. If the head dies, a senior disciple will become the next one, but as long as the new head doesn't reveal the identity, no one will know who it is, and only the leader can undo the various binding vows. As far as I know, there aren't any senior disciples who have information on the head. Maybe you mean there weren't any. I'm the current head of the new shadow style. So the simple domain, binding vow, and lifespan are all no longer a problem. But you gotta leave some perks for the new disciples. In time, Ui will become the leader and rake in monthly fees from the disciples. So Mei went to monopolize on this. How much? I'm talking about taking your life. How did you find me? And how did you know I'm the leader? I heard from someone in the know, but no one should know that. You intended to increase the number of disciples to stand alongside the big three families, and then control Jujutsu headquarters in the sorcery world, didn't you? Tengen snitched on her. Okay. It would take a long time, but absorbing lifespan from disciples must have been a means for living to someday see something. You can't exchange such ambition for money. And now the Zenin clan has fallen to ruin. So if the Kamo and Gojo clans both fall in the final battle, anyway, what's more important than money can't be protected without money. If there wasn't exclusive control of simple domain, some sorcerers wouldn't have had to die. You were trying to make my little brother defective, so this was bound to happen. Damn. So Mei took care of that personally. Okay. Ui and Monoma being MVP is pretty funny, gotta say. Yeah, very, to be honest, very funny. In retrospect, especially when Mei didn't really do much. Simple domain lore dump in the penultimate chapter is so... Yeah, it's kind of boring, but sure. Simple domain lore was so weird. It's such a simple counter technique with all this history that was never mentioned prior. I don't know what Gege's thinking. The first article I ever wrote, which was last night, was my review of JJK Finale. My biggest annoyance was how this chapter wastes its second half with shit nobody even thought about. Tengen told the sorcerers about this hag, but never says anything about Kenjaku. Yeah, like, okay, dude. Like, what? Tengen, please, bro. I am out of H2O. Oh, boy. I might have to step out of the room for a little bit, chat, and go get some water, because I'm yapping at like a mile a minute here. Thank you. Oh, don't mention it. Is this a grave for Sumiki? It's worth it to prep the body and make it look nice, even if it'll be cremated soon after. I'm happy to know she'll look good in the next life, thanks to me. I should have handled Geto too, that idiot. Yeah, no. Wow, you think? Shoko? Yeah, not that I believe in the afterlife, though. Understood. This is Fushiguro, Understood. We'll go right there. So Shoko's smoking, and she's got the ghetto hairstyle. Okay. Tengen's absorbed vestiges were left in Sukuna's remains, which were stripped from Megumi Fushiguro. What about Tengen's burial in Japan? We'll leave Sukuna's remains, so it should hold a while. That's good to know, but let's come up with countermeasures and an alternative soon. Okay, hold on. We'll leave Sukuna's remains, so it should hold a while. Okay, so they need to still do something about Sukuna's remains. Okay. Gotcha. You are still so wrong. Don't rush it. Do not rush. You are still so young. Okay. So Kamo boy gets to go back with his family. He's alive. It will be all right. All right. Here. So she gave away the soul katana? No, not the soul katana. That's a katana. Okay, it's the culling games lost its purpose. From now on, measures addressing fully fleshed culling games players will become a topic of discussion. Since Megumi survives, we'll likely go in the direction of having Hana and Yuji strip the cursed objects from the victims, even if it's risky. And it'll be necessary to recover players the American military abducted during the confusion. Thanks to the additional rules. You may not be enemies, but you're no exception either. I'm just talking to myself, but even with the culling games over, Tokyo is still off limits. They announced that cursed spirits will only appear in Tokyo, so curses will continue to gather here. If it was me, that's where I'd hide. I see. Okay. Do as you please. I'm done protecting you, so get lost. I see. Maki, make sure you come make sure you come when it's time for me to go. I'll take you on. I see. I hope paper magazines never go extinct. So this is Charles, right? Printing allows for feedbacks on the script's degree of polish. And new creators need to spend more time learning alongside veterans. I learned that the hard way recently. I'm a manga artist who's bad at drawing. Just hurry up already. The printers won't wait for a noob's one shot. Veterans shouldn't make them wait either. Okay. Like I say, lots of coarse jokes aren't bad, but no sex stuff. Even pune. Okay, I'm not saying that out loud. And Hattori have potty jokes. They're the same, right? No, they're totally different. Were you even listening? So, that Ghetto, I guess? It's just like the last Ghetto cameo in the afterlife, I guess? Whatever, let's get on with it. You shouldn't say that too loudly. Let's get on with it isn't a dirty joke. Let's get a long time no see. What? Yeah. What do you need? Well, about that one time. I'm sorry. Can't say I'm surprised. Oh, man. I need to straighten out my life. I see. So this guy apologized for the bullying, I guess. All right. No charges pressed, huh? I bet Jujutsu quarters applied pressure. They want to use me as a sorcerer. Okay. Sorry, as for the rest, a do-over. As a representative of the surviving family, I'm gonna kick your butt. I'm counting on you. Since Sukuna made a move like that, Megumi Fushiguro's memories of you have already been restored. Oh, I see. So there's nothing to be embarrassed about now. Shut up. I'll take responsibility. From now on, I'll be your right arm. When's the ceremony? No, that's not what I meant. We have a mission, so let's talk later. I moved too fast. He's already flustered. Okay. So Megumi gets a girl in the end, I guess. Cool. I'm back. You left the light on in the hall. Hey, can we eat out again tonight? Oh, sure. How about yakiniku? Okay. The victim is Sota Fukuzawa, male, 26. His fiance said his face changed 2 weeks ago. What does he look like to you? Yeah, let me see. Like a professional wrestling athlete. Well, you're well built. You work out? I did wrestling until high school. This is what his girlfriend says he looks like. Is it me then? Kukisaki. Come with me. I gotta examine your body. Just like Ichiji said, the effect of the residuals are just a little pesky. I doubt it's a cursed spirit. Really? The main body of the cursed spirit isn't possessing anyone, but there are diluted residuals, plus the victims experiencing minor difficulties. A cursed user is probably to blame, but there's no malice behind it, so I suspect a surviving Culling Games player of the Awakened type. Of course, it's a semi-grade cursed one. Grade 1 or higher cursed spirit is involved for some reason and just holding back. Then a chase could result in damages like the Yasuhachi Bridge incident. A cursed user stirring up trouble? That should be a cinch for the rest of us. Okay. So, like, how much does everybody care about this stuff? Like, I mean, I guess it's conclusive for everybody, yeah? I guess that's cool enough. Everybody kind of moves forward with their lives. The Takabaka scene is so confusing, but I'm glad bro is happy. Yeah, I guess that's him in the afterlife, I guess, you know? Better apology than Bakugo for real. Stop it. You don't believe that. Is this final chapter? 271? Yes, final chapter. Okay. Alright. The last color page, or last color spread. Oop, I made my screen shake. Oh, my phone's back there. Okay, here we go. I didn't notice a cursed seal or cursed technique marking this guy's girlfriend. The perpetrator might be nearby if it's remote and not a cursed spirit, then one or the other should show up. So we're inside the range of the enemy's cursed technique right now. It's possible. The cursed technique could be covert or the perp could excel at handling cursed energy. This could get tricky. Are there set times where your boyfriend's face returns to normal? No. Oh, well, I wouldn't know if it happened while I was asleep. Let's suppose that's not the... Dude, this is so, like... boring. Let's suppose that's not the case and estimate the technique has a radius of 50 meters. Considering the lack of harm, they may always be within 100 meters of you. There are always people here, even if we just looked for the perp's base. There are too many buildings and blind spots. But with a good view of the area, we might notice where the curse technique reactivates. They left Tabukaba and Yuji out. Wait. Yuki. Well, they sure did. Well, that sucks. We can lure the perp to an open, wide area. Sure, assuming the perp is an idiot who will just follow us wherever. He indirectly called me an idiot. Idiot. How about... Dude, this is so... This is kind of boring. Is anybody else like... Is it me? Maybe it's just me, because I'm biased about JJK a little bit. Just a little bit. A final mission for a chapter is kind of boring, man. Like, I don't really... I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna skim through this a little bit. Just a little bit. Naturally get the girlfriend out of the cursed area, take down the perp. Yes, how we do? I think we can use that. A 40-floor condominium. The top floor is over 150 meters above ground. Okay, so they're gonna use the thing. Okay, so they found the curse technique guy. Nobara's going in. Okay, no, not at all. You bitch, how can you say that? I'm the one who bought you that bag. Oh, I can't believe how trivial this was. It makes sense that she wouldn't recognize a customer from her days working at a corporate club or cabaret club. It's a simple case of resentment, but that's a bag, cost a fortune. How could she forget? Pretty convenient, no? You don't know anything. Buck up, man. You won't get the death penalty. What will I do from now on? I don't know how to convey affection, so I ended up blaming the other person. Gojo Sensei, I thought you'd be after Kusagabe for replacement training. That would have been fine, but how should I put this? Satoru Gojo hardly matters now. What are you talking about? The future and how I want you to face it. If the worst happens, it's my wish and my dream that you carry on in my absence. Even if I go out the way I am now, everyone will grow up and surpass me someday. Given that I think it's better for at least one person to forget me and be strong, it was completely different from me. But how could I forget you? This isn't like you. Where'd your confidence go? You're gonna be okay like that? You're so naive. I've never been more sure of myself. I'm counting on you, Yuji. Okay. Most of this chapter feels like season 1 filler. It does. That's why I'm bored. Until now. The real stuff, the second half of the chapter. Yeah, this is cool. I'm cool with this. But this mission is so boring. It's like the 3 grade 1 sorcerers chasing after like a petty curse, bro. Like, it's so boring now. You don't really feel that tension like it used to. The last chapter is like a dollar store version of Yu Yu Hakusho's last chapter. And even, you know what, that is true. But you know what, as I watched Yu Yu Hakusho, it felt more appropriate for Yu Yu Hakusho because I don't know. That's good. That's a good point though, Fufi. Now that I think about it, are those conversations really necessary though? I don't think so, to be honest. This is something like I would have loved in like season 1 or a side story. Yeah, we redeem villains in this motherfucker. We let the youth live to atone. Twice, I know you're pissed, bro. You're so pissed about next week, bro. So Gojo pretty much was like, my existence as the strongest, all that stuff, forget about it. Live your life without me. You already know where you went wrong, so you'll be fine. Atone and then come work with us. Oh, I'm counting on it. Okay. Hey, what about that one thing? I got rid of it. Chill. It's not dangerous anymore. It's the perfect ward. Oh, no worries. Oh, Mahito! Sukuna, you got here first, huh? Oh, you're here. Is this like the 3rd time we've talked? Because my curse techniques affects the soul, this is a kind of residue of that. This place is a passageway for the circulation of souls. I wanted to ask you something, Sukuna. You were lying, weren't you, to yourself and others about just living as befits your nature. I think your life is about revenge against everyone who scorned you as an abomination. It's about the same thing. This is my nature. I know no other way. No, that's wrong. I could have chosen how to live. I had 2 chances. But I had to vomit out the curse wreathing in my entrails. I was afraid of immolation by my own curse. If there's a next time, maybe I'll change how I live. Is that you, Kid Urame? So Sukuna acknowledges the fact that perhaps there was more. So Yuji actually stuck that with him. Okay. That's boring. You're gonna settle down? Of course. After all, I lost. But I'm the one. Then I'm the only unruly child left. Megumi's biggest win in the series was to a guy named Reggie Star. Megumi just never gonna achieve his potential. The first Mahito line is wrong. Mahito said, I guess you finally lost. Gotcha. I see. My God. And then we see everybody else here. Okotsu's back in Japan. Akari's doing Akari things. The crew is laughing. And then they resume it back with the finger where it all started. The end. Well, first things first, guys. This really was our Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't really have any strong feelings about this finale. I think it's kind of like a whatever finale, truth be told. The most substantial thing, of course, is obviously Sukuna's section. I will say that in the anime, this is going to feel very, like, I don't know if poetic or cathartic is the word for it, but, like, you know, just seeing, always seeing, like where it all began at the end. And like a creek like that is very like poetic in a way, or I guess poetic is the way, you know what I mean? That cycle And you know, they broke that cycle for themselves at least. You know, for the rest of their days as Jujutsu sorcerers. I think when I ask myself, right, what I wanted for Jujutsu Kaisen, first of all, I didn't expect all three of these people to live. I legitimately thought that Yuji might not have made it out. I thought it was gonna be Megumi be by himself, maybe, after finding new conviction to live. But Gege genuinely went for a more happier ending of breaking that curse. You know what I mean? Kenjaku sucks. Okay, let's just do this now. Okay, Kenjaku is the worst former New Gen antagonist. Okay, he is worse than All For One by far. He is worse than anything I've had to deal with in Black Clover. I cannot believe that for him to be the focal point of my investment in this series, he disappointed me greatly. No merger, that will inherited nonsense. That listen, okay? Listen. Kenjaku saying that my will be inherited, Gege 1000% backtracked on that, whatever that could have meant. There is no way, dude. Nothing came from the merger. Nothing came from Kenjaku. The most significant thing Kenjaku did was create a situation where Gojo was gone, and then he created culling games and created a situation where they could have got him back. The United States plotline, in retrospect, means nothing. That shit is 2 packs of ass. I agree twice. I agree. I don't think Kenjaku ruined anything. But as a standalone character, his existence to me just ceases after Shibuya. You know what I mean? Or like at Shibuya. And then that's it. He sucks after Shibuya. So disappointing in terms of potential. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's reasonable. I don't think he ruined anything, but Gege sure as heck did not do anything to make him live up to his potential. Absolute shame what Kenjaku ended up being. Like, wow. I think I'm just a little bit more annoyed about it because I actually liked Kenjaku as a character. I liked his essence, how he moved, how he made plans. But that just sucks. What happened to Kenjaku, man? Like, what the heck? You know, like what are we doing? Who do you think is better, Kenjaku or Lucifero? Unfortunately, I would still go with Kenjaku because Lucifero is meh. Yeah, like Kenjaku's being the curse energy debate is just never gonna be settled. Yeah, we'll never know anything about that either. Everybody just has to forget, I guess. You know, Yuki's dead now, so it really doesn't matter now. I got cooked on multiple times on Twitter for saying how dumb the US shit was. Yo, yeah, the US shit sucks. I'm gonna tweet that out myself, bro. The US shit sucks. Kenjaku sucks. But this truly was our Jujutsu Kaisen, I guess. Gege could have waited until December to end this, but it's really weird he decided to end it like in 2 months, just like MHA. Kenjaku and Megumi, the potential mans. I think the way he lost was good, but we needed to know way more about him before his final fight. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the fact that, again, nothing of the merger came to be. Nothing of this, like, it's crazy, right? Kenjaku's whole thing was basically picking up the pieces that Yuki and Geto had. You know what I mean? Granted, of course, he still had more ambitions outside of just that, but his major plan picked up the pieces where they left off, and nothing still came from that. Nothing. What? Guys, hello? Oh my god, I'm getting lightheaded. Oh my god. Oh man. Listen, I'll say this again. Obviously, I can't rag on Jujutsu Kaisen as hard as I want to, because I would be a major hypocrite knowing that I literally was like emotional as hell about MHA the other week, right? I understand what this series means for people. You know what I mean? I'm very much aware. I'm very much aware of what this series means for people. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not like, you know, when I see stuff like this, wait, hold on, wait, what's this person's final score? A 10? Okay. Yeah, like, you know, when I see stuff like this, it's like, you know, like I get it, man. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows what they like in this world. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of who clicks with it and who's not gonna click with it. You know, Yuji versus Deku conclusion, which was better? Like, it's not like Yuji's conclusion itself was particularly bad, truth be told. I don't think I really have a problem with Yuji's conclusion. Deku's, I don't hate Deku's either. I think just some areas were either a little hollow or a bit rushed, you know what I mean? But I don't hate Deku's ending either. I think, you know, hot take twice, is just like from me to you personally. With MHA always like with MHA Twitter in the community always being down each other's throat, we never got to talk about whether or not One for All should cease to exist after things had wrapped up, and with a foundation of like yin and yang kind of basis. I always had a feeling that One for All would disappear. Obviously, I had feelings that either like the base power should stay, but just like that, One for All was an instrument. It really wasn't, you know, something that Deku could make on his own in the end, unfortunately to say. So, you know, but I think that Yuji's conclusion is okay. I don't really have any issues about Yuji's conclusion. I thought he was going to die, but he didn't. But that's not necessarily fair for me to be like, oh, he sucks because he didn't die, right? Like, you know what I mean? I think Yuji's conclusion is okay. I think that JJK will just never be the series for me. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Again, I enjoy the anime. I will be there for the anime all the way to the end, because I enjoy the JJK staff and what they do. It's still very fun to watch and see how they interpret certain things. JJK is just ultimately not the series for me. I wanted to finish JJK out though, because I got deep into it. There was a time where I thought I was getting into it, and then afterwards, I just kind of let it mellow out and really just do its own thing. And I was too deep into the point where I'd rather just go ahead and finish it. I think I definitely learned my lesson with JJK. I think if there's one thing Gege can benefit from in the future, honestly, it's just slowing down, man. Just slow down. You know, JJK didn't have to have a major goal, but you could still slow down just a little bit, man. This story zoomed right the hell on by. 271 chapters. 271 chapters. Like, do you know how crazy it is to think that, like, Blue Box, Sakamoto is going to end up passing this? Chainsaw Man, Don Don's going to probably end up passing this someday. Well, Trigger's gonna pass this someday. Like it wrapped up kind of quick, and all things considered. But you know, I think I still prefer Deku's. It's just a little flawed. Waiting for the volume editions. Yeah, I agree. If Black Clover ends on a similar note to MHA and JJK, then the current gen of Battle Shonen will be 4 and 4 in terms of disappointing ending. Sure, yeah. I mean, I don't find everything disappointing, you know what I mean? But I do find a lot of things flawed. But I was fine with the vestiges passing on. Yeah, I agree. I think the vestiges should have gone. I just needed Tomura to be saved in a way, to be honest, even if he died. I agree. And hold on, okay, everybody stay here. I need something to drink. Stay here. Everybody just stay here for 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, I have returned. And I have a biscuit because I'm starving. Let's see here. Praying for Yozakura and Undead Unluck to land safely so I can recover from these dual disappointments these last few months. Yeah, I think Yozakura will be fine. Don't mind me eating my biscuit, chat. I have not eaten breakfast yet. Yeah, like have some cultural festival or something. I just want it like more. You know what I mean? Like to really get into these characters' lives a little bit more. You know what I mean? But that's a sin if you say that on Twitter, so I just don't say anything at all. MHA will definitely be the last longer battle shonen. Okay. You guys want to see something funny? Real quick. Okay. When I was in college, okay, I was having a conversation with some friends in a group chat, right? And we were talking about you know, the era of shonen getting shorter and shorter. We made it off a whim. The main question was whether or not we would ever see a moment like Dragon Ball's peaks ever again, right? And I decided to go make a video off a whim, just talking about how things were getting shorter, because it's noticeable, you know what I mean? And in this video, I literally state that MHA would end around 430 chapters, verbatim.
Like 1 or 2 more seasons up its sleeve. Black Clover is
Hold on, let me see.
act with at the time of this video being at 378 chapters. Just looking at where the state of the story is right now, I would bet on this series not going further than 430 chapters at the maximum, and the anime having a
430 chapters at the maximum. I literally called it. I literally called 430. I'm literally a prophet. I knew this was going to happen with MHA. I had a feeling that it would end on a whole number, but it would go past 400. You know what I mean? That was my theory at the time. And this was a year ago. When did I make this video? When did I post this video? January 29th, 2023. So it was one of my first videos to kick off the new year of 2023. And it's funny because I've had a couple of people come back to this video and they're like, man, you were right. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. I have a lot of comments on this video. But I say that all to say, yeah, I don't really have any strong opinions on JJK's finale. You know, it's fine, I guess. I still think the mission is kind of a waste of stuff. I wish there was a little bit more deeper talks with the crew going forward about the rest of their lives. I know Gojo fans will be pissed for the rest of their lives, no matter what, because of how he just went out. You know, I don't think it's necessarily a crime to want more emotional beats in a shonen story, but JJK was a very read between the lines kind of series, you know what I mean? But stuff with Gojo about like not getting a proper burial, we don't know where his body went, you know, all that types of stuff. That is not my battlefield, but I have seen some absolutely insane people lose their minds about Gojo's conclusion, and I'm just like, it is what it is. But let me just say this: JJK is gonna end up going out in a positive light no matter what. Even if this chapter's, you know, is getting dragged for stuff like that, you know, and stuff like that right now. 2025 season 3 will come out 100% by then. It'll probably be a fall show again. I sincerely doubt it'll be a summer show. Because that's how they usually do it. They usually bounce them back between fall and summer majority of the time. And JJK, I'm pretty sure, came out last year during the summer, and it carried over a long time into the fall, I believe. So with that being said, when the next season comes out, people are very much going to enjoy the anime no matter what, right? It's the JJK staff is cracked. Goso is a cracked director, all that good stuff, and you know, it's just gonna be a good time no matter what. And I feel like the perception of the anime is pretty much going to be like, we're gonna see a renaissance. We're gonna see people be like, you know, this is what people were complaining about with JJK. You know, it's kind of the same thing MHA is going on right now, though that's more to my pleasure than this pleasure, quite frankly. And I'm still mentally bracing to see people call JJK like the greatest shonen anime of all time, because I know that we're in a time now where it's pretty easy to please people. You give people raw text, high levels of animation and consistency with that, and like a pretty like cool-esque kind of story. That's all people need these days. Even if people, I know for a fact, like a lot of anime onlys will probably have a hard time keeping up with JJK's final battle against Sukuna, because of the fact that you have so many like different terminologies and binding vows happening all at once that I feel like people are gonna lose track of how certain things come to be. You know what I mean? Like you can easily lose track of like how certain things come to be with so many techniques and like ideas, like the chants and the binding vows, and this curse technique can't be used because domain, but then however, but in this moment somebody's brain, you know what I mean? You can get lost, but I think people are gonna love JJK no matter what, and as they should, you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's the thing too. That's a huge point, Ryan. The fact that Nobara comes back, people are going to eat that shit up like candy, man. I know a couple of anime reactors right now who are going to eat it up. Because when I saw people crying for Nobara's like death back in Shibuya, that's when I was like, oh man, this wraps. It's already over. You know what I mean? It's already over. Crazy chapter prediction? Yeah, I know, right? I was just waffling at the time, not gonna lie. Also, it's kind of crazy to look at my progress from that video, because I talked hella fast in that video. Now I'm more, you know. If I remove the greater context of the series while reading the last 5 chapters, then I really liked this ending. There's a ton of stuff I'd rather have, but it was still unpredictable and fun to the end. Sure. Absolutely, Fufi. Absolutely. I get it. I just, you know, for me, like I said, I very much value, like, you know, even though I have my moments of agenda with JJK, I very much wanted to see JJK to the end on my own terms. It will even if I enjoy the anime greatly, it will never be the series for me. You know what I mean? That spot has already been filled. But I understand why this series means so much to other people. I still think there's a lot of potential that's just not lived up with JJK. I think that Kenjaku just didn't do it for me. Megumi just didn't do it for me at some point either. I thought his technique was cool, but his character kind of just, yeah. You know, I really don't get the hype around a lot of different things in this series as well. You know, just looking at analysis and stuff like that, but like hot take for me, I just feel like when I look at when I look at like how people talk about JJK and stuff like that, and how like people defend it, it reminds me of like a modern day Bleach in a way, because Bleach has been scorned for years now for not having like death with its story because it's so raw. but there is death in the story, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's like a lot of the case with JJK and like symbolism and Buddhism and talking about the cycles and stuff like that. The one thing I will say about the JJK community too is that I wish the community was more open to at least hearing people's perspectives out. The JJK community was by far more defensive than anything I witnessed back. It's like the equivalent of like the MHA community. They are very defensive people. They get very offensive at you if you like complain about something. Because if you complain about something, right, and then they ask you why you feel that way, right? You elaborate, and then of course, they're going to rebuttal you. And then if you just don't agree, they eventually just start insulting you and be like, you just don't get it. You don't understand. And like, I don't think people realize how condescending and just like not fun it is to have to worry about that type of thing when you try to elaborate your point. Like, you may not agree with somebody's perspective, but, you know, at least don't make them feel like shite for not necessarily deepening the story as much as other people do. You know what I mean? Like, I saw people always mentioning stuff about Buddhism and stuff like that, and it's like, I'm pretty sure, like, I understand why people did it, but it's just like, I don't know, it never clicked in my head. Like the Yuji panel with the Buddha, like, obviously that's, you know, that's in my face, and I know there was like a panel or a color page with like Ghetto being like Buddha. It was like yellow, I'm pretty sure, something like that. Yeah, I get that stuff, but, you know, sometimes I just have a hard time like differentiating, like, if people are like on to something or if people are just waffling and saying whatever the hell that sounds intellectual. You know what I mean? Like, I just genuinely don't know sometimes. Someone should start a Twitter trend posting the most baffling story beats to them with only the caption, "This truly was our Jujutsu Kaisen." That will be entertaining. Do you think that Yozakura family will end bad? No. No. If there are two series in Shonen Jump I think will not end bad, it's Yozakura Family and World Trigger. I think Yozakura Family will have the most uncontested, solid ending since Haikyuu. I haven't read Haikyuu, but I know about Haikyuu. I know everybody pretty much like kind of enjoyed Haikyuu to all the way to the end. I think Yozakura Family will be the most solid ending since Haikyuu, give or take. I think World Trigger will be next up. But that also depends of whether or not stories like Kagurabachi end before World Trigger. You know what I mean? That's how I genuinely feel. I feel like JJK and MHA have their hiccups where you can really kind of be like, you enjoyed it, but it's got their issues. You know what I mean? But I genuinely think, like, not even just bias, just from like a consistency on Gondaira's half, I genuinely feel like Mission Yozakura Family will be the most solid ending that does not have the most egregious overarching issues since Haikyuu. By far. By far. I saw someone, yeah, their pride is too big. Yeah. Yeah. I saw someone say deep down that Buddha shit isn't that deep. And it's like hyping up Jesus symbolism in a random Western movie. Oh, that would get you crucified, man. It's always a you don't understand the story themes with them. I love Bleach story and themes. I had fun with JJK too, but those hour-long videos on themes of philosophy and all, that I can't. Yeah, I just can't either, man. You know what I mean? Like, I like being able to conversate things as they go. I do not like deeping stuff, not because I'm not capable of it or not because I don't think it's not there. But sometimes I feel like there are times where people lose their way of trying to make something more than what it is. And I feel like the more you make something more than what it may be, it incites a level of like intellectual authority about how if you aren't looking at it in this lens, you're not looking at the story right. That fucking sucks for the sake of conversation. You see the evolution of My Hero Academia's art video? I have, actually. That video, Ryan, funny enough, that video is why I have my own video. Fun fact. So, yeah, you know, yeah, I think the JJK community was just really hostile, man. Like, I think, like, even, like, the content creators, like, I don't want to call anybody out because I'm a small-time guy myself, but even some of the content creators were just really like hard on people who just share differing opinions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And just watching that, it made me always keep quiet. Like I didn't feel like getting into it with people, man. JJK is, to me, is not something worth arguing about. You just let it be. I actually haven't started watching Yozakura Family. I was waiting for the anime to end. I want your perspective on its adaptation before I choose to read, before watch. I'm gonna tell you now, Ryan. Go ahead and just read it. Seriously, just go ahead and read it. Please, please do. Please promise me you'll read it, bro. Please, just go read it. The adaptation is not bad, but it is severely lacking in multiple areas that I am going to talk about within the next 3 weeks regarding the anime adaptation post season 1 review. Let me see something real quick. Is Sakagaburo back yet? It's back! Oh, thank God. Oh, it is back. Oh, I was waiting for this thing to be back. I was working on a video last night and Sakagaburo was down, so like a lot of the footage I needed I couldn't grab, but it's back up. It got taken down for the hurricane. Like Yozakura Family has its moments, you know what I mean? Like stuff like this today. This is from today's episode. Without context, of course. Like it has its cool moments and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But I still feel like it's just lacking in like some areas, man. Like it's just visually uninteresting in many areas. And I think the director's philosophy to keep the show non-flashy has backfired. But that's a story for another day. I'm not going to drag you guys through it today. So many fandoms gatekeeping their series from JJK fans. Yeah, because they're genuinely, like, hard to talk to, man. Like, to this day, I have never sat down with a hardcore JJK fan and really talked about the series in title. Like, series in like, tandem. You know what I mean? I have never sat down and been able to sit down with a JJK fan and go, let's talk about this. Let's talk about A, B, C, X, Y, Z. And I never will. I'm done. This is what my ride ends with the series. I stayed away from it, man. I'm waiting for Dandadan, though. I've heard good things. Wait for Dandadan. I cannot say on stream why I wait for Dandadan, because there's certain things I just can't say. Wait for Dandadan. You will love the anime. I got you. I'll read first. Yeah, read it first, man. Read it first. I would read Ryan till chapter 84, and if you want to, from chapter 84, go watch season 1, and then you may see why I say go read first. I think the manga will be superior to the anime unless the anime does some major overhauls to certain ideas and concepts. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for me. I know it's a much shorter stream, but I appreciate everybody who came out today. I know it was very early in the day. I need to go eat because I'm feeling lightheaded. I kind of woke up and just washed up and just came straight here. So I'm going to go put food in my stomach before I faint on the ground. As far as content on the horizon, next week, again, I said my weekly update, but I'll say it one more time here. 3 videos next week. Friday will be a video about the nature of anime and manga leaks over time now that JJK has ended. Saturday will be a video about a certain manga that has blown up recently in the Yuri community. And Sunday will be Mission Yozakura Family's last 2 episodes review and or a season finale. 3 videos coming starting this Friday. I'll have some shorts dropping for Yozakura Family as well. After that, I will be taking a break week because 3 videos in a week is a lot for me. And then I will be doing Mission Yozakura Family's Season 1 anime adaptation review. I plan to do some manga review or some manga recommendations to end off the year as well. Fall season will be kicking off, so expect some things to come maybe from Dandadan. Definitely expect some things to come from ReZero. I will be participating on a friend stream very soon with ReZero, so I'll make sure to drop the link for that in the community tab. So make sure to come by if you want to see what I have to say about ReZero. Anime 2024 is coming as well. And I believe I will have some updates regarding a major project starting next year that will be lasting all year. I also will be putting out a poll in the future to talk about how I will go about the seasonal content structure. Because even though I do a video about a watch list every season, I feel like some of you all may want to actually talk about the seasonal anime structure, you know? So I feel like in the future, in order to kind of keep some streams coming, we may come back every season and really just sit down and discuss anime coming up, all that good stuff, you know what I mean? But still working out some details. Again, I need to really kind of work on some things, but I've got a lot coming. We're going to be steamrolling hard all the way to the end of the season, or end of the year at this point. So, again, thank you for coming out. Thank you for all the support. I'll have some tweets about JJK rolling out here in a few minutes and all that good stuff. So, yeah, but you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys.